plaintiff, Roy Toonstra, says he started dating the defendant after they met at church, and 6 months later, he proposed to her. Roy claims 3 days later, the defendant called the engagement off, so he's suing for the cost of an engagement ring. Defendant Gilda Smith insists she and Roy never dated, and he simply gave her rides to and from church. Gilda admits that Roy bought her a ring as a gift, but insists it was not an engagement ring because she has a man whom she's dated for 10 years.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I purchased this suit because I sing in the pastor's chorus there at the church, and I thought it would be appropriate to wear for a wedding. And I wanted to wear it when I married Gilda, but as you can see, Your Honor, it never occurred.
You just kept it anyway.
No, I wore the suit for the choir, pastor's chorus at church.
Why don't you give me a little background on your relationship?
Okay, Your Honor. Approximately October 2012, we started going to church together. I pick her up from church, do Sunday school together, go to church together.
How'd you meet her?
Actually, the first time I met her was at church.
Good. All right, that's the right place to find a...
And all of our activities
somebody
centered around the
says
church.
shoot. All right, you might have a good point. It's just as many crooks in the church as there is the bar. Go ahead. So you might be better off meeting them at the nightclub these days. All right, go ahead. So you met her at church. You all began dating. Nice Christian couple. Then what?
And I took her home after church. Sometimes we go out to eat, stuff like that. Took her to Red Lobster. On May 11th, which was the month...
You had to wear the bib with that tuxedo on.
That's right. Yeah, you couldn't mess that up. Wear the lobster bib. Go ahead.
On May 11th, Mother's Day weekend, the women's ministry sponsored a boat ride and dinner cruise there. And so I bought a number of tickets for some of the people of the church and also for Gilda and myself. And when I went to pick her up, I brought a dozen roses and suggested at that time, hey, we ought to get married. You know.
How long had you all been dating at that time?
Probably 6 months. So after the boat ride, we went to Jared, the jewelry store there, and I purchased an engagement ring for her. And a couple minutes later...
After 6 months of knowing her?
Yes, sir.
How'd that work out for you?
Obviously not very well, sir.
Okay, go ahead. So you got her a ring after 6 months. Mm-hmm.
She decided she didn't like that ring, so a couple minutes later, she wanted another ring, which was about $1,500 more.
Hold it. She actually said it to you?
You know, the girl's got good taste. I can't complain about that.
Okay.
But so anyway, we returned the first ring, and I purchased the second ring.
What happened to the wedding?
It never occurred, Your Honor.
Why?
I called her 3 days after I purchased the engagement ring, and she suggested to me that I don't know you very well, you don't know me very well.
Y'all just figured that out? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. That we ought to call the engagement off. And at that time, I was kind of shell-shocked because I was really looking forward to getting married.
Ma'am, let me hear some background from you.
Oh, how you doing, Judge?
Hi.
Well, sir, like you said, we met in church and everything, and we went on the boat ride from the church. He did purchase a ticket for the boat ride and everything. We had a very good time. It was a very good session with the people in the church on the boat ride. It was really nice until he kept on bringing his credit card out and saying that, well, I want to buy you a gift. I want to buy you a gift. I said, okay, calm down. You can buy me a gift.
How long had you all been dating at that time?
We weren't dating, sir.
How long had you all been associating with each other?
We weren't associating. Only thing that we were doing, sir, where he was just coming to pick me up to take me to church.
How long had he been doing that?
2 months. He bought me some roses. Like he said, it was white roses that were beautiful and everything. But I have a man. I've been with this man for 10 years.
You had one at that time?
Yeah. He called at the house and he knew I had a man. I mean, he answered the phone. So I don't know why you think that we was going to get married.
Did you know that?
No, sir, I didn't.
You never called the house and a man answered?
I called the house, and he informed me that I'm only going to tell you this once, and you need to get about your business.
Did you call back?
No, sir, I didn't. He said it in a threatening manner, so I didn't.
Did you try and reach her again?
No, I didn't.
So that's how it broke up. Why, when I asked you how it broke up, you played crazy on me? All right.
So
Well, you act like you didn't know. That's what I mean, play crazy. You just, I don't know what happened. You do know what happened. The man threatened you, calling his woman. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, sir, he took me on a boat ride, and he kept on saying that he wanted to take me to the jewelry store, Jared. And I said, okay, okay. So we finally went to the jewelry store, and then he said I can get anything I want, anything. I said, for real? I thought I was a child at the candy store, you know, because I was looking at chocolate diamonds and rubies, and there was so many diamonds, it was glittering. I didn't know which one to pick, so I just picked something that I just seen. So we walked out the door, and he went to his house, and he said, wait a minute, I got to make one more stop. So he made a stop at his house, and he came out with a big box. And I said, well, what's that for? He said, that's for you. I said, oh, for me, huh? I said, okay, thank you. You know, don't worry about it. He said, don't worry about it. I said, okay. So I took the box home, and here's the jewelry box right here that he bought me and everything. And then after that, the next day, that was on a Saturday when I went on the boat ride. On Sunday, he called and told me, hey, I'm the star of the church. You're the star of the church? I said, why I'm the star of the church? He said, because I told everybody we're engaged. I said, why did you go to church and tell those people that? I said, you know we're not engaged. So he didn't say anything.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
What was this 10-year man of yours saying when he was coming to pick you up every Sunday?
He thought he was crazy. But, I mean, it was a gift.
How about when he was taking you jewelry shopping? He thought that was all right
Well, it all
also?
happened in one day.
What about you? What did you think about that?
I thought I was
have
getting
a man at home. I've had him for 10 years. Yet I'm going to go to a jewelry store with another man and let him buy me jewelry. You thought it was a blessing?
A blessing, yes, sir. I thought it was a blessing. I did. I thought, what woman wouldn't get a gift? So I said, thank you. And I mean, I thought it was a gift. What she said, that's what it was.
Okay, you thought it was a blessing.
Yes,
Did you
sir.
bless him?
No, I didn't see him no more. I mean, it wasn't, no, sir.
I have a man at home. I've had him for 10 years. Yet I'm going to go to a jewelry store with another man and let him buy me jewelry. You thought it was a blessing?
A blessing, yes, sir. I thought it was a blessing. I did. I thought.
Okay, you thought it was a blessing.
Yes,
Did you
sir.
bless him?
Defendant Gilda Smith says she and the plaintiff were barely acquaintances from church, but the plaintiff insists they were engaged.
So when you brought that ring home and you showed your man, what did he say?
He thought it was crazy. He really thought it was
All
crazy.
right, and he said, but put it on. What did he tell you, to wear it?
He said no. He said that it's going to be a lot of problems with that ring. Because it's every time, I mean, it was just all kind of spiritual.
Did you ever wear it?
No, sir, I didn't. I just put it in the box, and then I took it and I sold it, and I got some money for it. And then I paid some bills for it, because it was a gift. So why not? It's mine. So therefore, that's what I did.
You say it was an engagement ring?
Yes, Your Honor.
An engagement ring is a gift conditioned upon marriage. If the marriage doesn't happen, then you give it back. So what do you say to that?
Well, sir, I just figured that if you don't know a person, how you gonna get married? I mean, I never kissed a man. I never held his hand. I never hugged him. I never had sex with him or nothing. So how am I gonna get married to somebody I don't love? That's what I'm saying.
But did he tell you he was presenting you an engagement ring?
No, sir. He said he was gonna get me a gift. A gift. And I can get anything I want in the store.
You have a receipt or anything? How much
Yes,
it
Your
cost?
Honor.
You're suing for $3,700. How much did you sell it for, ma'am? How much did you
I didn't get that much for it.
And what is it?
I did call the jewelry store there, and they informed me that she had called a couple of times wanting to return the ring. Presumably, at that time, they thought she was wanting cash for it. They advised me at that time that I ought to call the police, that they would consider it stolen property, because they thought it was a conditional agreement, and being she wanted to terminate that.
Sir, that's a lie. That is a lie. I did not call no jewelry store, because when he called me and told me that we was engaged at the church, I did not hear from this man. He hung up on me, and I never...
Did anyone suggest going to the pastor and talking with him about it?
Oh, let me tell you about what the pastor said. He called me.
Cut the money down with you?
No.
Go ahead, what?
No, sir.
What happened?
Mr. Roy went to his house, and he wasn't there. And then his wife, he was banging on the man's door, and his wife was
On the pastor's door?
On the pastor's door.
Saying what?
I don't know. You have to ask him. I don't know. But the pastor said he got an issue, and he's in the church for the wrong reason. That's what the pastor said.
So did you go banging on the pastor's door because she took your ring or whatever?
I did call the pastor, Your Honor, yes.
Yeah, that's who he's supposed to go for counseling and get some direction from your pastor. Both of you were members. That's correct. And did he respond?
He advised me at that time to have no further contact with her, Your Honor.
All right.
Because he didn't want no drama.
Good.
And that was good
speak
advice.
to you?
No, he just called my
He just
house
put
and
you
thought.
out?
No,
Huh?
sir, I
Oh,
just didn't go back.
They
'cause I
still
didn't
let
want
you
to
go?
Since he was at the church, I didn't want no problems with the church, and I didn't want to deal with this man because, see, this is not the
Okay,
first.
that's how they say it when they get put out now? You say,
No, I
I
didn't
just
get
stopped
put
going?
out, sir. I didn't get put out.
Well, why
I
you
just
stop going?
Because I didn't want to be bothered with this man in the church.
Could have sat on the other side of the church.
No, I don't. Because the first time that we had a problem is when I was praising God, and this man was sitting by me, touching me while I was in spirit, and it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
You saying he was performing the laying on of hands?
Yeah, right. Right.
What was he touching?
He
Never
touched
mind.
my face and went down.
That's laying on of hands. That's what you touch. You
Wait
put
a
it
minute,
on the
and then went
forehead.
down my arm. And this is not the only time that he has bought a gift for anybody in the church. There's several times I found out.
Several.
Several times he
So
has.
you knew all along what the
No,
game was.
sir.
All y'all in there running game on this man.
No,
He trying to
sir.
look right and do the right thing, get him a nice woman and wife out of the church, and all y'all ain't doing nothing but running game on him.
I just got there. I'm not running the game.
You
I got a
heard,
man.
you heard about it.
No, the minister told me.
You. So the minister down with the game.
I guess.
It was an engagement ring. You were engaged.
No, I
You
wasn't.
were. You were engaged to him. You
Sir,
love him. You're in love with him. You are in love.
You got. Judge, stop it. Stop
Listen to
it.
that. See what it says? Engagement ring. You know what it said. You know you're in love with this
I know
man.
what
Now
I
you want to
seen
get in
it.
here
I
and
seen
change your game. You're in love with him. What
Oh,
does it
Lord.
say?
I know what it says,
What?
sir. But that's the kind of
What
ring I
does it
picked. But I
say?
didn't. It's engagement ring.
Thank you. You're in love with him. It's a conditional gift, ma'am, and if the marriage is not completed, then the gift is to be returned. And since you sold it, he must get his money back. Judgment for the plaintiff, 3730. Good luck to you. Have a good day.
It was an engagement ring.
I think you need to stop
I did
creeping
wish to
in
marry
the
you.
church and stop, going around the church trying to get wives that you don't love you. I'm not your wife. I'm not trying to get with you like that.
I
You were just a
understand that now.
person at the church that I just knew, and I wish you well.
Thank you, ma'am.
God bless you.